they said all the powers should go back to Holyrood. And why should they be saying that? Well, the reason they're saying that is because when devolution was first constructed by the Labour Party back in the late 90s, they made the very worst move they could possibly do. They said that all powers would be devolved. Everything was devolved, except that which was written down as reserved to the British Parliament. So what that meant is that all powers, even powers that you had forgotten about, powers that didn't exist yet because they might be powers over something that we don't know about yet, or powers that were suddenly coming in from elsewhere, such as these returning powers, all powers would be automatically devolved, except that which was written down. Now, if you want to hold a state together, that is the very worst form of opposition the very worst form of devolution that you can do, because you've essentially just given up all the powers, except that which you've remembered to write down. The correct way of holding a unitary state together is to ensure that you only devolve that which you write down and everything else is considered reserved. There has to be a presumption that everything is reserved, except that which you've written down as devolved. That's the correct way to hold a state together. Of course, it was not the way that the Labour Party set up devolution. They set it up the opposite to that, which was, we're giving away everything, except that which we remember to write down. And that's what's called the Devolution Settlement. And we at Force for Good have long argued that that Devolution Settlement is the wrong way round and it's upside down and it needs to be reversed. Now that's a big ask, but it's what needs to happen if the UK is to hold together. And if it doesn't actually happen on paper, there has to be an ongoing presumption from here on in that that's the way it's going to have to work if the UK is to be held together.